What's up? Welcome back to another video. My name is Onako, and today we got Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts to review. So let's get let's go.
While the sniper rifle is standard issue in almost every first-person shooter, few games manage to capture the challenge and cold-blooded thrills of being an actual expert marksman. At its best, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 does a good job of satisfying the desire to splatter bad guy brains with a buzzer-beating bullet from way downtown. But it all too quickly unravels into an average action game the moment your cover is blown. In Contracts 2, you slip on the augmented reality.
That low-key sounded like you were playing an Assassin's Creed game with that theme music.
Equipped mask of Raven, a super soldier in possession of steady aim and a passion for a particularly deadly form of social distancing.
Nice writing there.
Raven may be a newcomer to the series, but his mission will be eminently familiar to anyone who has played the previous game, since it centers around a very familiar tale of international espionage and political upheaval, told very loosely by forgettable flurries of mugshots and confidential documents that put the brief into pre-mission briefings. The mission structure, however, is slightly different to that of 2020's Contracts. Whereas the last game presented you with a series of sandboxes to sneak around in, Contracts 2 brings some welcome variety by alternating between 2 traditional open mission areas and 3 concentrated long-shot contracts. The latter restrict your movement to smaller maps, but task you with eliminating targets that are in some instances over 1,000 meters beyond your perimeter. I found these long-distance executions to be the strongest sections of Contracts 2. Zeroing your scope, adjusting your aim for wind and bullet drop, and then nailing a headshot in another postal code remains thrilling long after the novelty of the skull-shattering slow-mo gore shots has worn off. But the annoyingly accurate return fire from humble enemy assault rifles at such long ranges admittedly shatters the sense of realism somewhat. Enemy soldiers might be blessed with supernatural levels of precision, but their actual smarts aren't nearly as sharp. At times they show some...
I'm glad I'm actually watching the review because it's like, this is the thing that games... I think Hitman does a little bit better. One sec, actually. One sec. It's going to be cooking in here, but I didn't want you to hear the background noise, so 1 second. This is the one thing that like stealth sniper games and like any stealth games, the patrol, like the card was poor patrol, and I swear it's every game doesn't like not every game should have some freaking advanced AI like superhuman reactability to you, but the patrol should be worked on a little bit to give more realism.
Some signs of tactical nous by tossing a smoke grenade to mask their movements, or bombing your last known position with a mortar strike, for example.
I feel like other games have done
but
this.
Mostly they're far too easily dispatched, either with a long-range headshot or, should you miss and therefore raise an alarm, by simply hiding in the nearest bush with a silenced weapon and calmly picking them off as they form an orderly queue, like it's all-you-can-eat night at the hot lead buffet.
This is exactly what every other game looks like. Come on, guys, this is 2021.
Since I only faced the same handful of recycled enemy types over the course of Contracts 2's 12-hour campaign...
Recycled enemy types over a 12-hour campaign.
I found myself becoming increasingly cavalier with my infiltration methods because I knew that no matter how many CCTV cameras were alerted to my presence,
they would never
I could always
find
fall
you.
back on the old conga line of carnage method to comfortably reduce each area's enemy numbers down to 0. This gave each objective an air of predictability. And it didn't help that the bulk of Contracts 2's key targets and optional bounties lacked the flexibility and flair of the more devious assassinations in IO Interactive's Hitman series.
Control. Primary target is down.
I certainly didn't go in expecting to be able to disguise myself as a sad clown or sushi chef, but I do wish there were more interesting ways to snuff out each mark.
There's fire barrels right there.
There are also
he used the wind.
objectives in most levels.
He lined
typically
it up.
involving the planting of explosives or the uploading of viruses into mainframe computers.
That's not good.
Watch
Much of this is
Dogs.
pretty stock standard, although I did enjoy the rare occasions I was able to use my sniper skills for non-lethal means. Like when I had to take out 3 sets of revolving gears situated around a massive satellite antenna.
You have a brief firing window to cripple each set.
It does seem like a bit of a design flaw though. Who built this thing? The guy who installed the exhaust port on the Death Star?
Second motor, disabled.
Where are they? Coming to kill you. Not if I kill him first.
Speaking of design flaws, Contracts 2 features a skill tree for Raven, along with an expandable arsenal of rifles, sidearms, and gadgets. But it all feels decidedly non-essential given that the missions don't really scale in difficulty, nor do they feature any objectives that demand experimentation with alternative weapon loadouts. Aside from adding silencers to my weapons early on, I actually forgot about the progression system entirely until I got to the very last mission, at which point I just spent all the cash and skill points I'd racked up in one go, purely for the sake of it.
Dang.
Some of it would have been used.
Okay, not gonna lie, that's it's actually kind of cool and not cool that you can go through the game, but it's like it's almost like they put a system in the game that's like entirely useless. That could have been like maybe some other, like, I don't know how long like a game development would take. Usually you hear about a game being in the fucking works for like 5 or 6 years when another game's released or the game previous is released. But it's almost like that little time spent on like crafting a skill tree is completely fucking useless, or just like it's like a throwaway of your time if you can completely forget about it to the end mission and just max out the skill tree. Well, then
Useful in retrospect, such as the motorized gadget that allows you to use zip lines in reverse, but the bulk of the health and armor upgrades I was very easily able to do without. This largely unnecessary upgrade system also makes the optional level challenges seem redundant for anyone who isn't an absolute completionist. There are cash and skill point bonuses to be earned for killing 5 enemy snipers with melee attacks or eliminating a key target without raising an alarm, for example. But
Okay.
I wasn't compelled to retry any objectives in order to complete these challenges, both because I didn't need the rewards and also because none of them seemed particularly imaginative. There's clearly been a lot of work put into crafting each of Contracts 2's settings, but I passed through all of it once, never to return again.
damn, that is a heartbreaker right there for like the map designer's side of the game development. It's like you put a lot of work into like it's art. A game or anything you build is really art. So it's like it's a shame when a lot of people do look at a lot of maps like it's just like the one thing you kind of look through and then it's like never to look back. What's the verdict?
Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 blows off a heck of a lot of heads, but never managed to blow my mind. Its long-range sniper shots feel genuinely satisfying to pull off, but the enemy AI is so dim-witted, it almost seems cruel to kill them. With an upgrade system that's largely skippable and mostly uninspired mission challenges, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 is a competent sniper sim that lacks the edge required to be a real sharp shooter. For more reviews of games with overly long names, check out our verdicts on Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate Episode Intermission and Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormground.
I kind of want to check out this now. Okay, well, I'll be back when I'm checking out this. For my overall verdict was, way before I even watched the review, I was like, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. Kind of looking good. I think I seen part of Shroud play it, but my reasoning for watching the review was like, okay, let me see someone actually review the entire game from what they played. Again, everybody is going to completely experience something different, so I'm not saying like him breaking down the game would cause me not to get the game. I would still get a game regardless of how bad a review was, to just make sure to see my review, like if I experienced the same shit, because obviously bunch of different people, bunch of different perspectives. Someone who really wants to play a sniper sim, this might be their thing, unless there's other better sniper sims out there. But I mean, it is still a new and fresh game, so why not? But as for what he's saying right now, a lot of the things that he did say were kind of poor are things that I don't like in other games, like the poor patrol. At times it's fun killing mindless guards, but then it gets too repetitive. Also, he said a 12-hour campaign. I'm assuming he wasn't trying to speed through the game. I usually speed through every game I play, depending on if I really care about the story. But like, if this like kind of locks you to 12 hours, you can beat it. You could probably beat any. Come on, there's speedrunners. You could beat any game pretty fast. But like, I don't know, but I definitely was. This kind of inspired my decision slightly to maybe not get it, but not a huge bit to where I'm like someone who's like, oh, this guy's just so right. I kind of still really like how the game looks. I like how the map looks. I feel like it would still be fun to traverse the map, shoot guards, actually use the skill tree and bump off some guards, even if you gotta hide in the shadows, or try to do the entire thing stealthily without raising the alarms. I would still get it for that. I probably would. I would get a lot of the games that I'm reacting to, but I only have a couple. And yeah, don't really want to spend money right now, but I definitely got Phantom Abyss because that was okay. This is not about Phantom Abyss. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I had fun watching it. I like how he gave a review. And is the guy
Like it's all you can eat night at the Hot Lead Buff.
is he British? I feel like some people have just that voice for reviews. So this is like another one of those that's really good. And hey, look, 111. But yeah, damn. Oh, I really when he talked about going through the maps, man, I really felt the map designer, because that's something I would do. When I was a kid, I liked building Roblox maps, and I would still actually, I should honestly get back into doing some stuff like that. But I really liked building maps and like, you know, doing just map design, even, you know, maybe even give away the maps, but or like maps or level design. That's all the same, right? Level design, maps are in level design. So it's like, yeah, and it would just suck to just someone just run past your thing once without even, but it's not entirely, it's funny, I just actually, oh man, I can't even show you this, but it's actually like sad that your level design isn't in like people just, you know, overlooking it or looking at it once saying, oh, that's nice, isn't entirely your fault. You know, everything is a part of this machine you build. So it's like, if everything was kind of like 9 out of 10 for the game, I feel like it would definitely raise the credit of the level design. But because everything else slacks so bad, it doesn't slack horribly, but is so low on a rating for him and maybe other people, that map design is going to even be brought even lower, because it's like you kind of look at the map but you're focused on how the game, it's like, man, the game looks really good, but gameplay design, oh well, that could actually be, someone could look at it as that could be boosted, it's boosted above the other aspects. I don't know. All right, I will see you in the next one. Peace out.